And welcome back to another video on the F1 Journal, and today we are going to be discussing about Red Bull's second seat, but of course the incidents at the Bahrain Grand Prix can't be overlooked, so we've decided to make a video about how Grosjean's crash happened and how he survived. So let's get straight into it. Romain Grosjean's horrifying Bahrain Grand Prix crash and the sight of the Haas F1 car torn in two has prompted incredulity and relief he was able to survive. It is a testament to sustained safety driven in F1 and the governing body, the FIA, including the introduction of the halo, that Grosjean not only survived but got out of the car and jumped over the barrier to safety. The FIA will conduct a thorough investigation into the crash, and many more details will need to be uncovered to understand the full scope of both the accident and Grosjean's escape. We've analysed the factors that made the accident so violent. That includes how the barrier gave way. The ferocity of the crash was rooted in the speed Grosjean was travelling around, the lack of time to decelerate between a sudden impact with the barrier. He was also moving up the barrier rather than head on. High forces are not uncommon, but it is rare to see them occur with exposed barriers rather than added protection of Techco barriers or tyres. It is possible that the sheer force of the impact combined with the angle of the hit meant that the kind of barrier could never stand up to the hit. The FIA tools will have recorded the force of the impact, and it will be a great priority to the FIA to ascertain why the barrier was penetrated and if anything could be improved within the structure and design. The car split on fire because once the front end of the car had just pierced the barrier, it became trapped. From there on, to dissipate energy involved in an impact like it was structurally unable to retain the rear of the car. With the monocoque containing the driver held in place, the energy led to the rear end of the chassis coming away from what is the driver survival cell. The part is specified and designed to firstly protect the driver from extreme impacts. The chassis being trapped in the Anko barrier meant that the energy of the heaviest part of the car, the engine and the gearbox, led to chassis structure around the fuel tank is part of the survival cell failing. You could be talking about the impacts of something like 100 G, so the back of the car, say around 500 kg, could weigh for that instance something like 50 tonnes, while the fuel cell is made of Kelva and rubber and ballistically tested. The impact appears to be extreme enough to have damaged or torn out some of the connections leading to the fire. The structure is part of the survival cell and forms the closed bulkhead that the engine bolts on. The battery pack was among the debris that come away from the car in the impact, and it's a possibility that this played a part in igniting the fuel. With the rest of the monocoque intact, including the halo, the driver was protected, but it was the failure of the barrier when it opened up and caused the survival cell failure among the fuel that ended up causing the fire. Of many chilling images around this crash, the most jarring was of Grosjean's monocoque embedded into the barrier with the halo intact. Despite the violence of this impact, the car separated in a way that Grosjean was still protected with the cocoon of the survival cell. But the halo being buried in the barrier is an indicator of the danger of the second phase of the accident. Though the monocoque survived, it would have almost certainly have left Grosjean's helmet striking the barrier at force. The halo device was badly maligned by some of its aesthetics when its introduction was confirmed, but has now proven its worth on several occasions. And it should be noted that despite the shock of the impact and the frenzy of the fire, Grosjean was able to extract himself from the remains of the car and leap over the fence to safety, further highlighting the halo is not an obstacle and a swift escape when retired. Medical driver Alan van der Meer, one of the first on the scene, said it was pretty amazing. He added, "It just goes to show all the systems that were developing, everything worked hand in hand, the halo, the barrier, the seatbelt, everything worked hard, and without just one of those things it could have been a very, very different outcome." Now, just wanted to talk about who will replace Romain Grosjean. We've just heard news that Pietro Fittipaldi, grandson of Emerson Fittipaldi, will be driving at Sakhir. To be honest, this news did take me by surprise. I know he's been their test driver and he's impressed on multiple tests, but I really thought they'd just go for experience like Nico Hulkenberg, and then hopefully Romain Grosjean will be back for Abu Dhabi to sign off his F1 career. And then I thought maybe they'd go for Mick Schumacher or Nikita Mazepin, who will be in that car next year. If not, but yeah, so it's understandable to go to the test driver, and we just hope Romain Grosjean is back in the car for next week at Abu Dhabi. Get well soon, Romain. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily F1 news, and subscribe to my channel on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.